Flat of British, Martin speaking. Hiya guys. Thanks for coming on this beautiful spring day. If you are here, let me just check first things first. Make sure I'm not roboting. Anybody tell me? Anybody there? Am I roboting? No, I'm going to have a listen to myself. Nope, I'm coming through clean and green. Okay, right. I've got a fair bit to cover today, guys. The reason for my vlog is to cover basically my research where I am up to the present day. I've sort of gone and backtracked to some of my original research and basically, I'll just, first things first, guys, the moon and the sun. Where are they over the pond, I wonder? I'm looking at the moon now. It's a lovely little crescent, and it's in the southern sky at about 40, 50 east. And the sun is just over by there in the western sky, about an hour off of setting. I took a photograph in the same frame, the sun and the moon in the same frame of my camera, that close. So what are you seeing on the other side of the pond? I wonder, outside of said terminator line. I wonder. Very intriguing. Oh, well, no, loads of people have noticed how close they are. They're bound to have. Let's just check if I am actually here at all, which is always a good thing to do. Anyway, as I said, guys, thanks for coming. Put my watch page on. There I am. Hey, guys. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Path. Hey, Tony. Hey, Millennium. Good of you to come today. I've got a fair bit to go through with you guys. If you could tell me where your sun and moon is over the other side of the pond, I could take note of that, but we'll leave that till a bit later, guys, all right? Yeah, it's, 5:30 UK time, GMT. So it's tea time. Time for tiffin. Okay, got a fair bit to go through. I'll tell you where I'm going with my research, guys. I've been looking into some medieval maps. As you know, I've a bit of an obsession with medieval maps and literature anyway. So I've been going into basically I'll start from the beginning and I'll run through where my mode of thinking is going. And I'll try to take my time so as to make some sense. Okay, think of this as a documentary. Okay, Flat Earth British, the truth about the shape of the maps. Or the lies about the maps, which I'm going to put to you now in a minute, guys. I'll show you all. A lot of you already know this stuff, but I'll go a little bit deeper because, to be honest, this week I've surprised myself with some of the stuff that I never knew that I thought I did as a flat earther. So I'll hit you with some of this stuff now and run through it with you. Okay. So medieval maps, as in the Map of Monday, there's plenty of different Map of Mondays, early medieval maps, which means before the Renaissance of the 1500s and before the full Jesuitical influence of the Vatican. So this is sort of, I suppose they would encode stuff because of the Inquisition. I can presume that people like Galileo Galilei kept under house arrest and had to put all his works into code. Leonardo da Vinci putting all his work and his artworks into code so as to hide the real messages from the, not Spanish, but the Inquisition. Okay. So why would we presume that medieval map makers would not also hide information in their maps? Now, there are different sorts of map of Mondays. You've got the Paris maps, as you know, the Portland maps, and there's a Psalter, begins with Psalter, Psalter map of Monday. Now, there are similarities with all these medieval maps where they are religious representations. You always see the Red Sea here. But what you find with these maps is they are all upside down. More than this, you'll get to, there's quite a bit of literature out there. There's actual modern map projections, which will show you the maps upside down. And what I mean by this, guys, is I'm not talking azimuthals. I'm talking the map being presented in this manner. Okay? Upside down. Now, what I'm postulating here, guys, what my hypothesis is and what my mode of thinking is why so many records, such as the records of Olaf Janssen. If you don't know about Olaf Janssen, I'll put a link in the descriptions box. You can watch one of Flatwater Flat Earth's videos on Olaf Janssens, who was from Stockholm, city my father was from, in Sweden, and he sailed with his father as a teenager north. The things that he saw when he came back, he kept hidden. But when he did come out and tell people, they put him in a mental institution for 25 years. on coming out of said mental institution, he started to write these memoirs of what he's seen. Now, the main thing, apart from the fact that he went to the Hyperborean lands and these freshwater rivers, the ones that actually produce these, well, basically the icebergs are all freshwater, and it's a bit of a mystery where they go. Also, there are a good few flocking birds, or birds that will fly north for the winter but not come back south. Nobody knows where they're going. But there's, you know, they're not going to Svalbard, they're not going to Bear Island. These places are devoid of vegetation and just rocky outcrops. These are not seabirds. These there's a few of them that will just disappear up north. Where are they going? These icebergs, these freshwater icebergs, are they coming from these lands north? Now, when Janssen reached these supposed geographical North Pole, now, as you know, the geographical North Pole and the magnetic North Pole are two different things. The magnetic North Pole deviates daily, hundreds of feet one way, or maybe a few miles that way, through magnetic detonation. Okay, apparently, well, they say where I won't go into that science just yet. I'll put a video on now in a minute. So what he noticed when he went past this North Pole location is he was still going, obviously still on a flat plane. The needle started to dip. Okay, and then he found himself. Okay, what he thought when he ended this voyage is he thought his version of this was he went into a hollow earth, okay, and came out of the South Pole through one hole out of another. Well, you don't actually need a globe for things underground. Nobody has a clue what is underground. 8 miles down, or 8 kilometers down, 12 miles down, but there are for sure giant underground places. Okay, we don't know what's down there. Okay, we don't. So how could it be possible to go north but actually be going south? That can actually work with any azimuthal I can think of. But let's just put the azimuthal aside, okay? Let's just make believe for a minute, okay, that this might not be the actual map and something else might be going on entirely different, okay? And this might be just a red herring. Remember where it came from, okay? The elites, yeah. And what are they good at? So not that I'm not trusting the azimuthal. It's a lovely, lovely, beautiful thing. But it might be completely wrong. Just sending us all chasing our tails and never ever getting any. So this is why I'm postulating with medieval maps, trying to work out the medieval mindset of what they were thinking, and working out from the approximate sizes of the real sizes of these countries and their approximate positions of where they are, laying on just a bog standard map in my mind's eye, okay, or our mind's eye, and then I cross-reference them then with some of these discoveries that I found in the Library of Congress and Johnson's Library and the Barry Lawrence Library in America. I found some cracking examples which really get thinking. So this is what I'm doing. And then if I got any time later, I'll cover the insanity of their space skyscraper. Apparently, they are going to tether a skyscraper off of an asteroid because they say they have the technology now where they can keep an asteroid in a geosynchronous orbit, apparently just going in a figure eight around America and Peru and coming back again. And it's on a tethers hanging off of a meteor upside down. But there's the skyscraper. Yeah, they're nuts. But this is what they say they're going to do. But this is a little bit of a leap from the space lift. Now, the space lift was supposed to be in development. They were making huge amounts of nanotubing or nanoparticle tubing, which was invented for this said space lift. Apparently, they're going to tether it to the Earth's surface and drag it off into space. Where you could go up into Earth's orbit, low Earth orbit, without the need of a very expensive space rocket, which doesn't really go up there, because it comes back down into the water. Space mirrors. Now, they said back in the 90s they had space mirrors up in space. They said, I read it, and me and my son discussed this, that they'd managed to light up said space mirror and torch a large section of forestry in Canada. Did I just imagine that? Did it really happen, or did I dream it? Well, no, I double checked. I did discuss this with my son did happen. So I check online. Nothing about the scorching of Canada, but there is quite a bit about the development of the space mirror. Apparently, they were going to bounce back. Apparently, the heat bouncing back to keep the planet warmer, to fuck us up some more, apparently. Bear with me, guys. I'm getting somewhere. The Lazaria map collection I posted on my secondary site, Net Voyager. Yeah, I've watched that many times. Obviously, he's talking from a Hollow Earth perspective, and he talks about globe and says that word a lot, which I find really annoying. But yeah, I know about that Hammond guy, following him for quite a while. I subbed to his channel. So where I'm going to start, guys, okay, is this won't become a shock to some of you, but it will come as a shock to some of the others of you who don't really know. So I'm going to share a page now. It's just a quick video. I'm not going to give you volume or anything, guys, because I don't want to be hit by YouTube again this week. It's getting a bit old. So just give us a second and I will bring it up. I'm also, with this coding of medieval manuscripts, there's a manuscript out called the was discovered, called the Voynich manuscript. It was discovered in the 1700s. It's in an undeciphered language with plants and fauna that do not exist on our known Terra. So the mystery is they used Bletchley Park deciphers, people to decipher these maps. This manuscript. Sorry, I was just concentrating. And yeah, I do that. Okay, if you just give us a second, bringing up this video. I'm not going to play it all, guys. In fact, I don't even think I'll play that one. 2 secs. Is it 6 minutes? It's a nice quick 2 minutes. There you are. Just some actual sizes of places to give you some idea of how wrong we are. It won't give you the actual locations of these places, I'm afraid, but the actual locations on the plane. But it'll give you some idea of how wrong all the maps are, as we know. And then I seem to have found what they're thinking with the medieval maps. And these sizes that are going on, basically, they're not so wrong back in the medieval either. So I'm just going to play this for a second, guys. I'm not going to really play any volume. Now, this is actual sizes. No, it's not. Yeah, so Russia is really small. So Canada's roughly the same size as the US. Twice as big. Yeah, exactly. Yes, well, of course, that one's a bit bullshit, but what are they saying anyway? Yes, whatever. So, as you can see, none of the maps are actually accurate, are they? What we're finding with the maps, that in the medieval era, they're more religiously motivated, and then you get into the present time, and they're politically motivated. So, what they've done is they've made the imperial powers, Britain, Russia, America, look huge, humongous. All of the Britain and its commonwealths, Canada, a big vast swathe across North America, when, as you've seen, it's only the size, not only, the same size as America. And Russia is not this big, vast expanse that we all thought. The biggest country on Earth, yeah, it's not, a third bigger than America. So all the maps are wrong. So what, if we put all of them together, all of them sizes of all of them places that they just projected on that video, we could get an accurate representation of what is out there. But we still won't get the positions. Not really. Now, there are plenty of these videos, guys, these actual size videos, to give you some idea of what is actually going on with the maps. Just give me a second. Now, yeah, everything seems to be politically motivated, but to put this Greenland being absolutely humongous constantly, there's more to it than that. There's definitely more to it. Greenland obviously exists. I've looked into it. It's a geographical location, but does it actually look like that? A mile ice cap on top? I don't know. I'm not sharing it, am I? Greenland is not big, guys. So there's the old Mercator projection, and they're just comparing sizes of, now, as you can see, the bottom half of the equator, everything is under projected. Brazil is actually a huge country, okay? Africa, vastly undersized. And look at the huge expanse of Russia, huge expanse of northern Canada, all false. And this little Australia. So everything in the southern half is reduced in size. Yeah, if the azimuth is correct, then everything opens up and expands and gains longitude and latitude, doesn't it? So what is going on there? Okay, now I just wanted to show you the sizes. There is a reason for this. Now bear with me, guys. 2 secs. I'm just going to visit you in chat, make sure that I'm actually here, full stop. Yes, I'm here. There I am. Hey, guys. Thanks for coming. Hey, who, Gav? I'm just postulating. Hey, Nathan. I'm getting there. Right, so medieval maps. Now, I'll start with this map on Monday because basically I've got one to hand. Now, they're not an easy thing to decipher because basically everything is a bit counterintuitive. Put my screen on so I can see me. Hey, Doji. Map on Monday. Okay, try not to get it glary. Now, what you'll always get is Jerusalem in the middle as your meridian, your prime meridian. But what you'll see on all of these, I'll show you a couple of them now. You'll always get the Red Sea here. And the Red Sea's always got this bit that's taken out. I think that's basically where Moses parted the Red Sea. I think that's the interpretations on the map. They do literal things like about famous criminals or famous fables. They would put them into maps. Obviously lost in time and antiquity, but they knew back then. But anyway, so when you get up to here, China is over there. Obviously, hang on a minute. So what you'd expect for everything to be in the north is naturally in the north on this map. It's in the west. The east is in the east is over here. Well, obviously China's in the east, isn't it? But it's not because China's over here in the west. So everything is basically polar opposite. Excuse the pun, on medieval maps. Now, you'll also get these keep out signs around the perimeter, which I've always thought medieval brainwashing for don't come out here, there's something dangerous. Now, bear in mind that all of the maps are the wrong sizes, so they're all vastly undersized or oversized. And when you get them to the proper perspective, and then try and understand that 25% of the earth, or actually if it's 72% water, 28% is only land, guys. The rest is water, and a third of that whole plane, what we know of, what they have presented to us, we're not allowed on. Past the dew line in the north and the 60th parallel in the south, in Antarctica. No-go zones for Tom, Dick and Harry. You have to ask permission and you can't just go there. It would be dangerous, I'm sure. Now, a sec, please. Obviously we know the Mercator's are wrong, and we've gone with I suppose Gallpeters will give us an accurate size of sort of widths of continents and widths of land masses, but not the actual sizes. I've one video here will give you an interesting little insight because it shows you Romania is a small country they show you in Europe. Then they take it out of Europe and put it into the Arctic Ocean. Actually, that's a video I'm going to put in the descriptions box. World Without Distortion, about Mercator and the process of map making and the way that it's done in photographic ribbons, which does exist. Okay, now just want to talk about this Janssen. He went on this voyage, Janssen, with his father, as I said, when he was a teenager, in the latter half of the 1600s. 25 years later, when he was in his 40s, after he spent 25 years in a mental institution, we're talking about what he'd seen. But he talks of lands where there are 8-foot blonde people dressed in plush silk and fruit this big and trees which are big, but not obviously 60 miles, but bigger than the redwoods, and just paradise. But on Earth, I'm in a location of geographical north, but beyond north. So how could this work, guys? Now, try and imagine, we think the azimuthal is in the centre, don't we? Let's have a little think about this, play a little mental experiment with Martin, shall we? So this is our idea of what we think is going on, and we think there's a rough water, rocky surrounding, keeping all the water in, don't we? Okay, so or whatever they say. Now, I don't really like the thought of an enclosed system, but I do feel there may be some sort of structure, or not structure, but dome thing above us. But I don't like the thought of it being enclosed because that's pretty finite. And that sort of, there is still more to go, more places to see where we are, but I'd like to think that there was a lot more elsewhere, which I do think, because this is what I'm getting to. I believe that medieval maps, medieval manuscripts such as the Voynich manuscripts, because they are undecipherable and they're in a different language, and because they are in code, I believe they're from possibly places not on our terra, on Earth, places beyond said ice wall of the north. So imagine this doesn't exist. So you're sailing north. Okay, let's do this mental experiment. Let's see what happens. So you're sailing north, 6 days south, 6 days north, okay, from Britain, and you want to get to this Hyperborean place. And you carry on going, okay, and you carry on going, and you carry on going, and you carry on going. But really, you're following your compass because the compass needle is red and it's telling you that that is north. But what if that's just the science that's been proposed to us? Maybe that it's not showing north at all. Maybe it's just showing south. Maybe it's just showing magnetic declination and nothing straight at all. Maybe they're fucking useless. You know, I've always found it really irritating to think that they tell us that Scott of the Antarctic managed to find Amazon's flag in the middle of an icy continent when apparently he's using his compass for a bearing, and this compass with magnetic declination all over the place. I've got maps here and tell you they're quite distant day to day. They will tell you it would make it completely impossible to find a flag in a continent bigger than Australia. Apparently, a continent bigger than Australia. Yes, I know. So if you were going north and it was south, then could it be that what we have proposed, what they should tell us that is north, is not there at all? It is something completely different, huge, expands, and in a different context altogether that we can't get our heads around. They can't explain to us. A bit like that conversation of the NASA guy on the restaurant table who said if they found out, their heads wouldn't be able to handle it. Well, flat plane, well, my head can handle that fine. So it could be something more. That's all I'm saying. It could be something more. Now, azimuthal just doesn't do it. It doesn't. It's a cyclical thing. It's going to keep on going round and round. You can't tie it. You can't neaten it all up and make it work. You shift things around till the cows come home. I've been doing it for 2 years, and it can never get a satisfactory conclusion. So what I'm going is digging back in time and trying to get to some answers. Now I'm going to go through a couple of. Let me just show you this Voynich manuscript a second, guys, in case you're not aware of this. This was out of the BBC Mail, BBC newspaper this week, saying that it's actually, they think it is authentic because there was a lot of speculation saying that the Voynich manuscript was a hoax. Now, the Voynich manuscript is a genuine message, okay? This is why I think there is secret messages. Now, they show you fauna of plants that do not exist on Earth. So why are they... And it's of great detail. A language undecipherable and plants that do not exist. Why would someone go to the effort? The message inside the world's most mysterious medieval manuscript has eluded cartographers, mathematicians and linguists for over a century, and for many so-called Voynich book is assumed to be a hoax. But a new study published by journal PALOS One suggests that the manuscript may, after all, be a genuine message. Now, I do think so. It's from the 1400s, but there's a great similarity to the artwork and the style of these Voynich manuscripts. You might find this one interesting, guys, thinking of it from a flat earth context. And medieval map making. I do believe there's a code. I believe they're hiding truths. So these are plants that look a bit like a sunflower, but they say that they are not. You get a lot of these sort of things. So you get a lot of nymphs in water holding hands and obviously doing other stuff as well. Bit of rogering going on there. I think this is a bit of a astrological and pharmaceutical biological illustration, which is quite intriguing, but they can't make head or tail of it, guys. And I believe it's because it's from another pond. Now back to Jensen. When he went to said lands in the north, the Hyperborean, because of the era that he went in the late 1600s, he was trying to explain advanced technology, but I believe that it was out of his frame of reference and he didn't know how to explain it, because he did make a good effort at trying to explain these things, but he couldn't do it. So I don't know. Well, a little bit more thinking about this medieval literature, I gotta be honest. I don't speak Latin. I've got a Latin decipherable website for the maps, which is quite handy. Now, this next thing I'm going to show you is 15 maps that will never make you look at the Earth in the same way. Well, it don't. Now, I'm going to tie these into the medieval map shortly. You'll see where I'm going with this, guys, hopefully. Okay. Excuse me. Now, knowing that we know now, because I've just explained that everything is wrongly projected. As you can see, United States is the same size as Australia. So, Russia. So, the actual position of Russia there, if you can see underneath, so there's the equator line there, and there is the actual size of Russia, guys. It's not very big, is it? Yeah, I know. So, if Russia is that size and you put it by there, then what size does that make the Arctic Ocean, guys? Eh? Yeah, vast. Now, that green blob is the country of Romania. Now, Romania, as you know, in Eastern Europe, there it is there. On the map, it will show you it's a little tiny circle. But the actual size of Romania, if you put it in the Arctic Ocean, it's that big, guys. You can see Svalbard under here. It is so much bigger. It is a big country. So Romania, Hungary, Bulgaria, they are all this big. They're all huge, but they're only on the map shown small. Poland, huge, only shown small. Now, you've all seen the West Wing clip, haven't you, where this lady's explaining the maps away, and she says, so where exactly is Germany? And the gentleman says, oh, I'm glad you asked. Well, I'm glad you asked indeed. Where is Germany? Now, Germany is supposed to be the biggest country in Western Europe, but on the map, it's really, really small. So where is Germany? Where's the rest of it? Everything is smaller. So if we had the actual sizes of Germany, all the Eastern Bloc countries, Russia actually projected the size of that, which is supposed to be this little thing here. Look in the center there. It's the Congo, the Belgian Congo. And it's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the size of Belgian Congo, Russia, guys. Yeah, I know. So actual size of Australia, well, it can completely cover Europe and the Middle East and a good bit of Russia as well, but not Scandinavia. So Australia is huge. Is actually a lot bigger than they show us on the map, isn't it? Okay, Asia. So what we're seeing here is on Asia, you will see Brazil here at the bottom, which we know is a huge country, and they've got it in the south, so everything is underprojected. And if you bring it up over the equator onto the northern half, Brazil is absolutely huge on Asia. So what's going on, guys? So the Philippines are Indonesia and Borneo, pour over Russia, and it is absolutely huge. This is Java, Sumatra, Borneo. They're absolutely huge, okay? But on the map, not so. So what is the map, guys? Going on this, what is actually the map? Well, going on medieval maps, I think they might be getting closer to somewhere to reality, if I'm honest. Now, obviously, that's bullshit. There's the size of Greenland. You put it into America, and you could fit a good few Greenlands in America. If you put it on the equator, it just about covers Senegal. It's not big, guys. Canada would fit nice and comfortably over the northern half of South America. So it's not as huge as they make out. It's just expanded. It's pulled out like an accordion. Don't know. Britain, that's Madagascar over the top of it. It would cover 2 Madagascars would make Britain. And China. So the actual size of China on Russia. So China's pretty underprojected too. Japan is a lot bigger than they say. Japan in the Pacific, you see it's a little tiny island. You bring it up and put it on the Canadian Peninsula, and it's absolutely... And there's the bullshit of Antarctica, which they would say would sit nicely comfortably in the Antarctic Ocean. India, guys. Now, the Asian subcontinent, India, is always projected small. You put it up onto Russia, and it is absolutely huge. So if that was, down by here in its actual position, how big would it actually be, guys? Tiny. What you'd see is a small Russia and a big India, which would explain the population on India, wouldn't it, guys? The actual size of Canada brought down onto the United States. So, food for thought there, guys, don't you think? So, I think if these are to be believed, these are projections, something more accurate could be made out of them. You could just pull them all together on them sizes, make a map. Hey, guys, good to see you all. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Shroom. Happy Sunday, Sin. Happy Sunday, E. Happy Sunday, Canada. Wamba. Thanks, Nathan. I'm trying to be all professional here. I'm trying to do a documentary, Martin style. I got quite a bit to get through, actually. I haven't really started yet. Just I'm a bifter, keep you company. So this is the run up to Globebusters. This is to get you in the mood. It is Sunday, so obviously Globebusters tonight. You all excited? I haven't even put it onto my recommendations yet, so hopefully it'll come up and remind me. Yo, John. So in America land, where is the sun and the moon? Because basically, I can see the moon by there, and the sun's still over by there. I'm just saying, this shouldn't be happening all over the apparent ball thing, should it? No, obviously not. Anyway, get back to my tale of medieval mappery. Now, when I show you what I'm going to show you next, the positions of the things that I've been showing you will make more sense. Okay, because obviously these are things from today, and I'm just going to bring up a couple of libraries. This Barry Launch library, this is a really, really good library. Okay, let's have a look what we got here. Let's just have a little look at some maps together and see what we can discover, shall we? Maybe we can change the whole paradigm of flat earthness all in one session. Okay, medieval maps and see if we can get our heads around what they're thinking, because if you put them with the mindset of, say, the people who made the Voynich manuscript, the mindset of the day, possibly coding and hiding information. So what we got here, right, is a projection of the Arctic Ocean, okay? What you'll see here is the Arctic Circle and ships sailing north. Oh, hang on a minute. What's this coastline here? Hang on a minute. That has to be Svalbard. No, it's not. Okay, so what is it? I don't know. So there's a coastline here. This thing here called Island. It doesn't actually tell you what it is, but it's a bit of the north of Canada it is, guys. This Friesland here, or Friesland, I thought was part of Scandinavia, but there's Scandinavia there. So there's Scandinavia, there's Scotland. That island actually there is Iceland then, guys. So that would be the inner coast of Greenland, possibly? No, I don't think so, because that's Greenland over there, Friesland. So this year it says Gronland. Is that Greenland? I don't know. If it is, then what is this behind it? Grokland. So what you'll see is whales swimming around. Do whales swim on an ice cap? No. So are they saying it's open water? Yes. Are these ships further north than Bear Island? Yes. So are they in the high Arctic Ocean? Yes. Is that supposed to be ice pack? Yes. Okay. So what's going on with that map? Let's dig a little bit further, shall we? The thing is, these maps go on for like literally centuries. Just give us a second. I've been looking at topography as well, trying to work out the topography has a big player in this. It's never addressed. Now, what I mean by that, obviously it's flat, but it undulates. What I mean is it slopes down and it up again. So there are rises and there are drops for miles. So this will play a part, okay, guys? Now, this is from a Universus Terram Orbis from the 1490s, and it's literally out of the book. So I will share this because I think it's more trustworthy than a bog standard map off of Google. These I've dug in pages and pages of libraries of antiquity for. Okay. So there you'll see, this is the Giovanni Antonio Magnini map. But the beauty of this map is it will show you these lands in the north again. 6 days sailing north of Britain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what they will say is Greenland or Gronland. So what are these here? So it says Pygmy. So this is the island of them Pygmies. And you will see these rivers coming out always, which are sometimes referred to as the Euphrates, the Tigris, and the Oberon or the Oron. I'll look at that now anyway. So there are certainly lands projected in this pamphlet of the late 1400s. So why would they be there? Are they there or are they not there? So there it is documented. So why are so many medieval maps showing us these lands? So the Arctic Circle is in a different place here as well. No, it's not. There's the Arctic Circle just north of Bergen, city I know quite well in Norway. And there's Trondheim. So the Arctic Circle is indeed on that line. So this inner circle here. So what's supposed to be happening is voyages are supposed to be going up through these rivers and tributaries into an inland paradise. Is it possible in this day and age, in 2017, 100 years after we were on horseback and basically catching our food by going out into the chicken shed and getting a couple of eggs? You didn't have supermarkets back 100 years ago. All of this new thing, these newfangled cities are all new. I'm afraid most of everything's just arrived from the 1700s. The cities are new, 200 years in the making, 250. They were all hamlets, small towns. The first city of its size was London, as you know, 1,800 million people since ancient Rome, apparently. So cities are new. This invention of keeping people in pens in cities that they can close down, keep them all there, not out in the countryside where they can look after themselves and get their own wood, their own food and their own water. Fuck that. The Bahamas. See the nice flat horizon, guys? Yeah. Thing is, right, you know when people go on about the flat horizon and the boat's going over there, they reckon, but that's not true because you've got binoculars and they come straight back in. But nobody ever really mentions the fact that it's supposed to be going that way as well. That should be, if you're far enough up or back, I reckon that would be actually visible to the human eye if there was a curve that way as well. Because if they say if it's 23, 27 miles to the horizon line and then part of the boats are going over it, which we know they're not, then that would work that way and that way respectively as well, which would mean it would be observable. So we keep an eye on that one, guys. Keep forgetting. It's supposed to be a ball. Just saying. So have you all seen the I won't get to that. We'll stay on the medieval mappery a minute. So make sure I stop sharing. Excuse me, guys. There is method to my madness, guys. You will see. Problem is with these libraries, guys, I've saved all the stuff anyway. They're in an order of where I'm trying to get to. So why, when you travel north, are they saying that you are traveling south? Could this work conceivably in the mind's eye? Could you actually be tricked into thinking you're going in a northerly direction because they told you that the compasses point to magnetic north, and obviously there's a difference in the south and you need different compass for the apparent southern magnetic pull, which is caused by the molten core just below apparently the magna underneath the crust is apparently like twirling really quickly, and apparently that's causing that's a really nice map. I just need to show you this a minute, guys. Waylaid. Every time I see one of these maps, my heart goes. It's a really weird thing. So let's have a look at this. Right. So what we got here, obviously, it's based on a calendar, but it's the middle bit I'm interested in. It's an azimuthal. It's an azimuthal from the 1400s, which really does intrigue me because this is outside of. No, it's not. It's 1500s because there's America. There's nothing in the centre projected in the north, though. Okay. Interesting little projection. Does it tell us anything else? No. Okay. 2 secs, guys. Right, more Scandinavian maps. I've been actually, if you go on this library, guys, I will put a link in the box. This is the Barry Lawrence Rudderman Antiquity Library of maps, okay? And look, guys, maps of the world, it literally gives you a collection of polar maps. I shit you not. And then I haven't been through them because there's just too many, guys. Look, these are all, you can buy this one for $2,500. Let's check it out. And that's a nice apparent Antarctica projection. Let's just take a look, see what they're showing us. So this map will cost you $2,500, guys. Intriguing. Done from a Pacific perspective. And it says, Australia's incognita. It hasn't been discovered. Okay, so this is before they knew what was down there, they say. So you get Nova Zelina, which is in northern Russia. So where are we looking here? Now I'm confused. Oceanus Ethiopius. I don't know, guys, but they're naming islands after Ethiopia. Now, I would have thought that there would have been the Cape, okay, of South America, but apparently not. Apparently, well, I'm really confused. I think this is a northern projection. It's not actually saying. Oh, Africa. Hang on then. Okay, Africa. That's New Zealand, Nova Zealand, where the new continent is supposed to be called Zealandia. So that's a really interesting thing. So I could go on for them forever, but what I want to show you is the fact they show you maps, medieval maps, north to south. Okay, guys, just show you this for a second. These are the talisman maps. Okay, now they do go on. There are so many. That takes me to topographicals. Don't worry, get off that second. Stop sharing. 2 seconds. Don't worry, I'll lose myself in plenty of time for you to go make a cup of tea and watch Globebusters because I'm going to be watching it myself. I'm not going to miss it. Don't worry about that. I'd be in a mood. So I've actually got some maps which are really intriguing. And what they've done, I found one yet last night that I'll try and find it now, where it's an azimuthal and they've like literally overlapped a southern azimuthal over the northern azimuthal. So both the South Pole and North Pole are one place. It's a really intriguing map. I hope I could discover that. I did save it. So why would they say north is south, south is north? There's a map here that got passed to me by Flatwater, the Idris map. Now, if you don't know about the Idris map, it's something you may be quite interested in, guys. Bring it up now if I can. The Idris map. Idris. Or Edris. Idris. Okay, Idris map, which is showing Pangaea. No, that's not it. Sorry, guys. There must be something wrong with my translation. On my, it just give me a street in Turkey or something. Don't know. James Bond was on earlier, and he nicked a moon buggy. It was that film Russia with Love, and went through a moon hoax stage. Moon buggy. Really good. I was going to put it on a video, but I thought, no, I'm live later on my balls at my computer. And then nobody will be able to listen to me because I'll be roboting again. Like last week with that fucking false flag event that I've got so much grief about. Somebody apparently got a Chinese burn that day, you know? Anyway, so, yeah, that's my postulation for the day. I am putting it to you using Olaf Jensen's Voyage as an example. Just bring up some of these Mapper Mondays that I've just saved because my medieval maps, where are they? Medieval maps. Sorry, I've saved so much, guys, getting ready for this presentation. I seem to have lost everything. It's been a fresh, isn't it? Sorry. So, why do they call the medieval era the medieval era? Does anybody know? Because medi is the middle. It's the middle evil era because it's evil. Does anybody know the answer? Well, that's what Wikipedia say. Here it is. 10 most beautiful medieval maps. It's one of these. Now, I'll show you now. If I could just bring it up. On medievalists.net is where I discovered these. Seeing north is south. So is there a code in medieval maps? That there is Constantinople, or as commonly known to myself as Istanbul, a city I know well. And this bit in the middle is the Grand Bazaar. On the film earlier with James Bond, he was running across the roof of that. And you can see the Blue Mosque, which was also on the James Bond film, which is a mosque from Byzantine era that I went into, of great antiquity and beautiful artwork. So what we haven't touched upon is a couple of things I wanted to go into a second. Add that there a sec from Meru and Arab map makers. Now, the Arab map makers out of this game, the map making game in Western powers, but the Arab maps are all the same. The early Arab maps, no matter which one you pull up, there's one there, will show you south direction. Everything is upside down, but that one is well, the Mediterranean, so the obviously facing north-south, when on our maps it's an east-west facing sea, isn't it? So it's completely the other way around. Okay, this is the Tabula map, which is a beautiful map, but this is also an upside-down map. Okay, now I watched a video a couple of days ago. Let's bring that up a second. And it was a story of a boy, Australia, where he projected the south on top, or Australia and the south on top, and that basically upside down. He was laughed at and made a fool of, and he said that I will get a scientific paper by the time I'm 23 and publish a map. Which he did. This map is published, is out there today, it's available, and it's a valid projection, apparently. The map completely upside down. So these macators that we're going with, I think we should take no notice of. Am I saying go with upside down maps? I'm saying it might get you closer to where you think you're going. Does that mean that the ice wall could be around the north and the south, not the ice wall, and it all is actually reversed? Because this is a game the sort of elites do like to play. It's a game of reversing everything. So what I'm trying to do here, guys, is pick apart of red herrings, as in the azimuthal equidistant. This is give us, guys. Remember how many videos we made about this, guys? Remember how many hours of work by people like Chipmunk have been done on this shit, guys? And remember where it came from, guys. sun and the moon. That should be enough today, actually, to kill the globe. So what you see in front of you there is the map of Monday. We visited this, me and myself and Nathan Oakley and Paula Oakley, to see it was one of the oldest maps in the world, which I have behind me there, obviously. I bought a replica made on skin or the belly of a beast. Now, check this map out here if I can, if it blows up, but it doesn't, excuse me. This is also, no, that's the right way up, but it's showing you Africa as covering the entire southern hemisphere. It seems to be the more prominent thing in the ancient world, I must admit, guys. What I'm saying is, when you look on the map of Monday, or any of the old map of Mondays, I'll bring up the Salter now. That's one of the best I know of. 2 seconds. With the map of Monday, right, guys, you've got these Euphrates, and these all emanating out of here, the same thing. I think these are representations of what's going on with the Hyperborean, which is this one here, the Hyperborean, which isn't in a northerly location because it's next to China, as we know is in the east. So how can you work that out? I don't know. Right, 2 seconds, guys. Salter map. Right, this is the Salter map. This is another very famous map of Monday. Just want to bring it up a second. Not that bloody big. Okay, right, let's just take a little look at this map a second. So you've got the Red Sea in exactly the same place, the crossing in the same place. This big wall you can see in the corner here, you can see that there. Well, that's the Great Wall of China. So China's in the same location as on the map of Monday, but there are subtle differences. What you see is this is the Nile, apparently, so this is Africa. And what you will see here is apparently all these anomalous beings, which will keep you away from this area. But Europe is sort of devoid from palaces and everything, and Africa, there's all these beautiful palaces everywhere. Whatever could be going on. So this is called the Salter map. It's another map of Monday. Now, what you'll see in the north here, where I'm pointing at, which is not the north, is actually the south, because there's the Ganges there, guys. As you know, Ganges is in India. So I believe these are the Himalayas. I believe that there says the Tigris. That one there's the Tigris. That one there's the Euphrates. That one there's the Aeon. And these, I believe, are the rivers that are running out of the Hyperborean, which is, they will show you a woman and a man and this sort of sun disk pouring life force. And at the bottom, there's another version, only the guy's breathing air into the map. So this one's breathing water into the map. This one's breathing down the bottom air, which I found really intriguing. On the far left-hand side, you will see Hyperborea. This here is the Hyperborean continent, which is apparently non-existent anymore. So that's my question, guys. Why are all medieval maps projecting their imagery the wrong way round, upside down, with all scaremongery? And they don't have to be too politically motivated in the 1400s. I don't think the masses were that tuned in. They didn't really have the internet back then or daily press, did they? So, stop sharing. So, I don't really know what to think about that. I'm just thinking about this Jensen's voyage. It really got me. I'll put that link in the box for flat water. I'm going to move on anyway because time is not my friend. I've been chatting for an hour and a half and it's got away with me, guys, I'm afraid. Ew. Right, let's visit my peeps, see if anyone... I could be talking to myself and do a vegan. Vegan Warrior did a show the other day, God love him. He was talking to himself for a little while. Hey, Snack the Future. Hey, Retro Alex. Zombie. We don't have zombies here. I are youth. So I'm worth $1 billion then, am I, youth? Oh, I really love you. I'm in your fan club, youth. Right. So why do you think the Pentagon or the government have just started to... Hey, Robert, your name's on there. You're on my shout list. My shout list there. Let's have Pavs on there and Doomweaver. Because Robert Doomweaver, he's going to have a hang-up next Friday. He's coming back in the scene, and he's going to be like a whirlwind in this scene and liven everything up. Not that he's livening up, I mean, with good, solid research and a good bit of original thought, because that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get some original thoughts and ideas going. Just out of interest, guys, Rick Wood said to me the other day that the video for REM, Man in the Moon, is no longer available on YouTube. Apparently it's banned or it's gone. So you can no longer hear REM, Man in the Moon. So they're hiding that as well. I just want to say one more thing, a quick thing. A friend of mine in Cardiff, David William, sent me a message, rather sad. His mother has passed away Tuesday morning, unfortunately. She's a Welsh lady from my city, as Will is. So he's a brother, and he's left in a bit of a state, actually, because he's grieving, and he's out there in the world in pain. So I just want to send his thoughts out for him and prayers, and hopefully, well, no, her name was Jeanette, I believe, so her name will now exist on the ether forever. Okay, so that's for Gwill, David William. Robert Shortman, his hangout's coming up. I'll put a link in the description box, guys, all right? But it's on my Facebook, and that's for next Friday, which will be the 8th. And no, 2 weeks is Easter, guys, apparently. So they say. They might be lying. Last year it was March. Just make it up, don't they? See what the Pope's doing. So that'll be Friday the 9th, okay, guys? Next week. So the government have released 9/11 pics. I was going to go through them, but to be honest with you guys, they're just shit. I thought they might have gone through them to Photoshop them to get evidence of lack of aeroplane, but they never. They showed you one little plaque this big with a little bit to show you that it used to be a piece of an aeroplane. There's none of the other aeroplane there, or no seats, or engine or plane. But whatever. All you'll find is a giant hole in the wall, apparently, where the nose cone came through. But there's no aeroplane. That's apparently evaporated. Oh, is it? Oh, right. Oh, I had that off Rick Woods, Jono. I don't know. Maybe he's just looking on the wrong fucking browser. I don't know. Anyway, back to my insanity, or my sanity. So that's my postulation for today, is medieval maps and medieval manuscripts are possibly coding us and telling us that there's something else going on entirely. I'm starting to believe this, guys. I really am. So what could it be? Could it be a Klein bottle, a vortex, a pipe, a ball, I don't know, with a square and stationary earth up by there? That's sort of bullshit, isn't it? And Picard, when he got up there, his statement apparently it was flat and licked up on the edges like a bowl. He did say that. Just saying, he did say that. So, the concept for their insanity of a space elevator, I want to look at now for briefly, guys. Part 2 of my documentary. The first was about medieval maps, and the second is about space insanity and the bullshit they've told us in the last 20 years that never came to fruition. Starting with space elevators. A space elevator is a proposed type of a space transport system. The main component would take a cable, also called a tether, anchored to the surface of the and extending into space. The design would permit vehicles to travel along a cable from the planetary surface, such as the Earth's direction into space or orbit, without the use of large and expensive space rockets. Okay, here's a picture of said space lift. Apparently, it was going to go off the top of an Andean mountain and be anchored to the top of a mountain and go up into low Earth orbit where there was a counterweight on top. And this thing was not going to drag. As the ball is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, apparently the tether was going to spin at 1,000 miles an hour as well, okay, and not drag and not be disturbed because there's atmosphere here and apparently vacuum here and the obviously the hot fusible material in between. None of that is even coming into it. It's just gonna gently swing around. So they've expanded upon this, guys, with a thing called the Elysium Project, where they say they're going to anchor a meteor. The what would they call it? Space anchoring of meteors. There we are. Space anchoring system for elevator. No. Excuse me, guys. I'm trying to look for this stupid Elysium thing. Not that it's real, obviously. Let me just check I'm even here. Yes, I am. There I am. Thanks, guys, for coming on a Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful day out there, guys. Honest to God. I'm looking now, and the blossom is all right there by the window, and the moon is Oh, it's gone too high now. But I'll take a couple of photographs. I got the sun and the moon in one frame, guys. I don't know what to make of it. You know, what are you seeing on the other side of the pond? Huh? Well, I'm just saying, I tried to work it out. Apparently, well, I don't go with orbital mechanics because I know it's bullshit, but you got to do that for the argument case, haven't you? You know, not that I argue with globe trans anymore. There's no fucking point. No curve. Maps are all wrong. They're thinking space. Spaceships, bullshit. I've seen them too, and they're bullshit. So, daytime moon, moony moon in the day. Oh, I actually caught planets last night. I was taking photographs, and I tried to use my night vision to take a photograph of the moon. And that's Venus, by the way. Yeah, I know. Venus, which is a blue light, apparently. Looks nothing like what you'd expect. And that was the beautiful moon last night. Okay, the moony moon. So, I can't imagine what you're seeing on the other side of the pond, guys, because they're really close by here. 40-degree change. That's all. There's nothing in it. They're so close. It's almost like getting on for an eclipse out there. Crazy. I don't know what to think. So that's close. I think they might have been doing this all along. Because we're flat earthers, we're noticing this now and we never before. I was taking a photograph up there just now earlier. A lady came past and said, "So take a photograph of what? The moon. What moon? The moon up there. The moon? What's the moon doing up there?" Good question. What's the weather going to do? I don't think it's going to affect the weather. I think it's something else. Like what are they seeing apparently on the other side of the world then? You're scaring me now. I said, "Don't be scared, love." What's it doing up there? I said, "So it's up quite often in the day." "Oh, I never knew. And she went off with all like wild rolling eyes. But I think that was probably the tablet she's on. But that's what she said anyway. Artwork, Azimuthal artwork. I was thinking about my post yesterday. So I was like, when I think, I draw insane pictures. That's somebody else's head, not mine. Can't tell you. Can you tell whose head that is? Oh, whose head is that then? Maybe you could work out which Effie personality's head is this. Which Effie personality is that? Well, that's Nick from Cute Word there, because he's in Thailand and it's sunset. Which YouTuber is that? Can you tell? The Tesseract should give you an idea. I'm not playing that game. Anyway, so Jupiter, they reckon it's real. I've got really strong sort of optics and I can never get it to ever look that way. Can you remember when apparently a meteor struck Jupiter called the Shoemaker? Apparently a boy, a Levi, in his garage discovered it at the same time as Shoemaker, a famous physicist, in his observatory discovered it, and it comes ploughing in, peppering a load of Earth-size explosions, blackening something that's a gas giant. So it hasn't got a surface apparently. Apparently this is gas. Apparently you can just pass straight through it. Apparently the bigger gas giant, or the other gas giant, Saturn, you can balance on a glass of water. And space bullshit. Do you ever see nebulosities? Do you ever see any of that going on? In that colour? No, because you will never see it in that colour, because that colour's added. When you look up there, it's just black and little white things. Okay? Because that's what's really going on with space. My back is in half. I'm sitting on the floor. Okay. Underground. Overground. One believe free. What do we think's underground? Well, there's giant, vast caverns underground, guys. As you know, one got discovered in Borneo. You can fly a jumbo jet around in, no problem. So when the Victorians were exploring the outer edges, they were also exploring the inner at the same time. Okay, explorers of the Vagnian realm, another realm of reality, which is underground, and where the stalagmites dwell. And through all sorts of culture, what is going on underground. Okay, and it's not just sort of caves through consciousness. I know caves have quite a bit to do with early man, and also there's another thing where they say early man put his hands on a cave wall, where there's also that theory that it's a representation that the hands are actually on the other side of the stone, reaching out into our realm. Okay, and that's what they are a representation of. Apparently, these early tribesmen were quite into psychedelics and the rest. I think that was going on, but they did do some quite trippy cave art. But the point I'm making, guys, is we don't know what's below us. There could be huge continent island size cabins, tepid, warm. Who would know where you were going? I was just absolutely blown away this morning just thinking about what we don't know. The thing is, all what we've picked up is in the last 120 years, I'm afraid. Scott in the Antarctic was turn of the 1900s. He gets down there, Amazon's already got there. So that's it. 1900, early 1900s, 1912 to the present day, and they've discovered everything on their ball, and there's no more to be discovered. That's it. All there is now is the confines of the ball and space, and we got the keys, and you ain't coming. Not unless you can cough up a 48 million pound deposit for a ticket for a seat you will never have. You can't go up there, don't you know? Let's have a look at these 9/11 bullshit shots. Should we just for a laugh, see if they show anything? 9/11 new pics. They give me a Porsche for 9/11. I put 9/11 pics in the browser and it come up with a Porsche 9/11. I know, guys. Don't worry, let's have a visit to you in chat then, if I'm still here. I am. Hey. Hello, 100 people watching Martin talking about maps. Don't worry, I'll let you get off in time for Blockies, because I'll be watching Blockbusters myself. Hi, John Watson. Yeah, Stellar Nurseries. What a stupid notion. Apparently, one small section of space where the star is born, and it pukes it out, and then it lives its life, and apparently becomes red dwarf, everything else. But it will stay in its local neighborhood and never go anywhere else outside of that nebula. Okay, so how come the whole sky is full of stars, and where are their birthplaces, and where are their nebulas that they were born in? None of their astromechanics actually works. These are the questions I've had when I actually believe all of this bullshit, which I don't anymore, guys. Oh, so thirsty. Right, I'm going to spark one up, and I'm going to look at something else now. It's going to be something else they made up, which never existed, called space mirrors. Now, space mirrors, they tell us what a real scenario. I remember these actually happening, guys. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a Mandela tree thing or something. I don't know. But let's take a look and see what happens. Okay, space mirror engineering. They used the use of a space mirror as a global warming measure was proposed as a technology for climate change migration by deflection of sunlight. It was one of the serious proposals for controlling global warming made by the US government in 2001. Now, I can remember him talking about this being used. I remember him saying it was up there, but not according to this website, okay? It was just the idea of putting up a space lift. Space mirrors were first considered in the 1980s as a way to cool the climate of Venus. James Early, also at Livermore in 1989, proposed using a space shade, a 2,000 kilometre in diameter orbit at Lagrangian point L1. He estimated the cost to be between 1 and 10 trillion US dollars. And suggested manufacturing it on the moon and using moon rock. Sorry. Oh, that's the worst one ever. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why didn't they go ahead with that, guys? They could have chiseled another 10 trillion off you. Fucking hell. 10 trillion, is that all? For a space umbrella. Whoopee. So, comedy aside, guys, can you see what they're playing at with this bullshit? That's space elevators. Nada. Space mirrors? Nada. Spaceships? Nada. Space hotel? Nada. Space holidays? Nada. Vomit comet? No. So what's Branson up to these days? Well, I notice he's getting his oar back in. He reckons, Richard Branson does, that he's going to take Hawking to space as a gift. Now, we know we've all seen Hawking doing his hideous dribbly parabolic manoeuvre, which is really cruel. You can see him just chucking him round as a parabolic maneuver, and he's like, really cruel. But apparently now they're going to make him go on a spaceship and go up to space. So, yeah. Look out for that one, okay? The guy who survived this illness that should have killed him 60 years ago, survived it, is in the Guinness Book of Records, and now he's in his 70s, mind. He's got no body, just a head, a bit of his lip that moves, which he talks with. And his eye. He actually flicks his eye, and his eye talks to his computer, apparently. He's going to space, and Richard Branson's going to take him there. Okay. Should we have a look at SpaceX bullshit? Should we see SpaceX landing and see what we think? SpaceX landing. landing video, which was the Falcon 9, which was a month ago. I'm only showing it because it's so comical. This is the comical NASA hour and the insanity these people come out with, okay? Just to put things into perspective. Yeah, they're really doing that, okay? Dun, 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 dun. Thunderbirds are go. So they can't get any closer then. Can't, like, got any cameras down by here? Or what about in the building by here? That would be good. A photograph from by, say, there. Can't do that, can they? Well, except one boy, he was sort of further away and he managed to take another bit of footage, apparently, but that's it. So there's your Falcon coming into land. Okay. So that's straight out of science fiction. Thunderbirds are go. Captain Scarlet. It's exactly what William Shatner would have said, actually. He says, how do you differentiate between science fiction and science facts? He says you don't. They're both the same, which I believe they are exactly the same. Because none of what they're doing, they're saying they're doing up there. They're doing up there, guys. I'm afraid. They're not doing anything up there. So what are they doing with the money? Well, black ops. Off-pond operations. Let's just put it that way. If there is elsewhere where these Voynich manuscript has come from, which they seem to know of, the elites, or they do know of, guys. I just want to show you something quickly if I can. But no volume. 2 secs, and I'm be wrapping this up soon. Don't worry, because obviously 7 o'clock, and you want to have a cup of tea for lovely Bob and John and Jen. Come on. For Sunday Globusters time. I do like Sundays and I like the spring. I'm going to be doing more spring stuff outside. Flat Earth British is outside. Now this video here is the truth about the world map. Now you've all seen this bit of footage, haven't you, where she's on, this lady's explaining it all on Orphan Wintry. But this is what I want to show you. These Arab maps, this was made by an Arab map maker. But yet again, you got the north in the south. So can you see what I'm looking at here, guys? This was postulated or brought forward by some kid in Australia who thought that if everything was put in its proper perspective and its proper sizes in its proper place, that the southern half of the post map would dominate and not the northern. This may be a way they'll have to go if truth's going to come up, but obviously these projections are bullshit. I don't know what is real. Probably the medieval ones are closer than the Azimuthals is what I'm thinking, guys. Right, this is about the map lies. Now, this is MacArthur's universal corrected map of the world. North being south and north being down. So basically everything's upside down on here. You don't see many projections of everything coming in. Now, even if you were living on this ball, which you're not living on, obviously, imagine if you were flying in from another planet and you were flying down to this ball. Why would you dictate that you were coming like that way where you see the map? Not that way where it would be upside down, or even that way, the other way around. Now, this is another map of Monday, an earlier, I think this one's from 1210, and it's made in a style called butterfly style, which was later used. This butterfly style was later used and expanded upon for navigation of the seaways. So basically, the cartographer's work with the extended butterfly lines was already done for distance. They could use these lines for accurately charting navigation on a seaway. So some of these medieval maps. This one here is another Salter map, and it also shows you, similar to a map of Monday, you will have the Red Sea over here, and you've got the Jerusalem as the meridian. China's always over then east, but everything's upside down again. Same here. You got east up the top, exactly the same as the map of Monday. And here's the map of Monday. On a US documentary, and it's out of our lovely cathedral in Hereford. But it is a fine map. And he's showing all of these land masses on the video, which they say don't exist. And everything is skew. So everything pre-Jesuit tells us a different story. Nothing is as they tell us today. This is the Salter map again, which is a beautiful map. I would love to see this. It's in Italy. And I went through this with you earlier. It's another one with an upside down projection. North is at the bottom. Okay. So the medieval maps are upside down, but there's not, obviously the Americas aren't on here. So, and they show you the rivers coming out of the area in the north, what I mentioned, which I do believe exist. I believe the icebergs come from there. And there's also freshwater icebergs, don't forget, in the south or on the southern perimeter, which leads me to think that there's freshwater tributaries also coming out of the Antarctica ice ring or ice circle or whatever you want to call it. This map is also an upside down one, medieval. Looks like part of France. But yet again, it's an upside down one because this is the Asian continent and everything is upside down. And then you get the right way up. But they're all showing the same things. These lands in the north, you get the 1500s maps. And these mythical beasts. You're always going to get these mythical beasts. But this is what intrigues me. Why does Africa have all these palaces? Why have they all these palaces? And Europe is not really got much action. Everything is in Africa. So I think what they've done is suppressed Africa's history. You can see they got a history when you go down to Ethiopia. These giant cathedrals that are dug out of granite in the floor. And some say it's the home of the Ark of the Covenant. It's been hid there. Or Graham Hancock will lead you to believe and has been there and say the people who watch over the Ark of the Covenant get cataracts from the radiation that it emits. And apparently it's been hid there for generations, which is why in the war, or just before the war, why Benito Mussolini, dictator of Abyssinia, decided to invade Ethiopia, which was Abyssinia at the time, taking over Haile Selassie, the emperor, occupying the country. I believe it's something to do with maybe he thought that he could get hold of the Ark of the Covenant. The box, apparently, that they carried the Ten Commandments around in, which had probably great powers. Now, that bit there missing is a bit that's been cut out of a map of Monday, and it's been covered over with a bit of skin. And what's missing is Germany. So on the West Wing clip, they say, where's Germany? You may ask. The biggest country in Europe, and off the medieval map, they've excluded it completely. Now, Germany obviously not exists as a state, but the German people exists, but they've cut it out of that map completely. Maybe they just didn't like Germany or something. I don't know. So, okay, just finishing off there. So that's what they project, is that north could be south, and there's something else going on with the maps completely. They verify it with Bible, some Bible verses, and voila. There you are. It's food for thought, guys. I'm just saying. This is where my mind has been working on. Somewhere to go. It's a mental exercise, it is, guys, in Martinness. Okay, 111. That's my number. No coincidence, that is it? Okay, so I hope you're all having a lovely day. I hope spring's arrived in America land for you. And we've got beautiful weather here. I was in the garden today getting sun-kissed. It was really lovely and warm. The smell of blossom in the air. Bumblebees, that big, guys. Bumblebees and butterflies as well. They're not as big as the bumblebees. They're about the size of a butterfly. But the bumblebees are really big. And I've seen a dead bumblebee. I hope they don't start making a fucking habit of dying. I don't know where these bumblebees are going, you know, guys. I hope they're not dipping off to another reality because they know something's afoot. I don't think like that, guys. Thanks, Mary. Very interesting. Yeah, it could be. There's something going on with medieval literature. I've been looking into it for a good 3 years now, but I didn't think anyone would be interested. But there's definitely a code in medieval literature, and this Voynich manuscript, although I've had an immature effort at trying to decipher it myself years ago, I can't get anywhere with it. I tried the same skip code as they use in the Bible code, a progression of 2 missing 3 over prime numbers. I tried that, and I can't get nowhere. I've tried a few patterns, actually, to try and get a code out of it. I'm not too bad at code breaking, apparently. Apparently, one of my skills. So, and anagrams and things like that, and word games, and puzzles, and chess, and flat earthness. Okay, so guys, thanks for all coming. I'll wrap it up now. So you're going to get off and get ready for Globebusters in a minute. I'm going to just play you out with a bit of... do you know what I was playing yesterday? Peaches, Stranglers. Down, 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 down. So, D-Truth, you were telling me via email, YouTube have banned some video worldwide because apparently it's no good. Apparently it's freedom to the masses, away from the conscript and the shit that we find ourselves in with the Matrix. We are waking up. It's a wonderful thing. I tell you what, guys, I really did enjoy that show last night with Nathan Oakley's. He had Infinite Plane Society on there. I don't know if you were in there. I know you were there, Paula. You're welcome, Joy. Thank you. And I thought he was really interesting. I like this where this guy's coming from. I like a lot of his stuff. You know, some of it's a bit maybe be troublesome, but yeah, I like where he's coming from. I like the historical aspect. I think that should definitely be a player, and I don't think we should exclude all our evidence that they've given us. You know, the literature, the maps, and everything. We could pick something out of this. We can. There's clues. They've left clues. Not everybody's a bad guy. Okay, so the good guys, they snip stuff slip stuff in for the masses to pick up on. They think to themselves, somebody along the line will recognise this as a clue and run with it. It's breadcrumbs, guys. It's a bit like what we're doing now into the future, isn't it? Breadcrumbs for the future. Put it on the internet, on the Ethernet forever, or for as long as it exists, as a message. It's not a bore. It's a better time to come for all. And the sooner we all realise the slavery, the construct. I was talking to my friend earlier, guys, right? Just come home from work. It's Sunday, Peanut. His name's Peanut, after Snoopy and Peanuts, because he looks like Charlie Brown. So he works 7 days a week, 6 hours a day. I said, "What? Don't you ever have days off?" He said, "Yeah, Christmas Day." What? No other days off? No, he said, "If I take a day off, I lose £150 out my week's money, not just the day's work. So they force you to go in 7 days a week." So that's the extent of the slavery, where they drag a man to work. And all he's doing is collecting trolleys in a supermarket, a farm food supermarket, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, 6 hours a day, just to keep a roof over his head. Is he happy with his lot? No, is he? Fuck. He knows he's a slave. He's just got no choice. This is where they got us. I know. Okay, guys, I'm going to dive off now and leave you all to it. I'm going to put the kettle on because I'm spitting feathers. Just make sure I haven't left anything out before I go. I'll put these links into my descriptions box if you want to take a look of Flatwater's video about the Jensen, Olaf Jensen voyage. It's a long one. It's about an hour and a half. He put it out about a week ago, but I listened to it all and I was captivated with it. I absolutely love that tale. There's something in that tale. Okay, Ninja, one love, Ninja. Boom. And left-hand path links because he keeps getting fucked over. Oh, thank you, vagabonds. Crack you up. Oh, I hope that's a good thing. It's not a good thing around here, mate. Crack you up. Oh, no. So, 9/11 pics, yeah, I didn't go through them because they're shit, and we all know that they fucking did it. And I'll put the links into some libraries. Johnson's Libraries is pretty good, and the Library of Congress, one of my favourites. They got a pretty good polar map collection. And I'll just leave you with this thought. Frau Meru. Who's Frau Meru? Well, Frau Meru was a Venetian map maker, and he made a map from the confines of a cell. How did he make a map from the confines of a prison cell? What he did, he got all the tales of all the travels from all the convicts in the prison in Venice, and he wrote down all of their details, the people, the customs, and he made this really extraordinary map, which has been missing. Many people have seen this map, and rough copies have been made, but it's been missing for a couple of 100 years. Where the Frau Meru map is a mystery. But in the Apollo 15 mission, the mission that went wrong, Houston, we have a problem. That one, when the spacecraft was apparently slingshotting the moon, which obviously it didn't do, but when it was slingshot the moon, in the film, you see Tom Hanks looking out the window and saying, "There's our landing site. We missed it," which was Meru. Well, I just can't help but think a missing map, which is essential, which has been searched for hundreds of years by academics. I think that they got under lock and key, by the way. They name an important crater in an Apollo mission, which would get like all the world's media looking at Frau Meru. And they keep dropping these clues. They've also got like Tycho crater after Tycho Brahe. You know, they a lot of the moon's features they're named after famous map makers. And of course, the last thing, when I went to see the map on Monday with Nathan Oakley, next to it they had a A4 saying that Tim Peake on board the ISS had tweeted his appreciation for the oldest map in the world, the map on Monday. So there seems to be clues between maps and them. And old map makers like the Frau Meru crater on the moon for Apollo 15 and his mysterious fictitious treasure map, which everybody's been looking for 200 years. Because I do like treasure maps. Maybe that's why I like the flat earth thing. So I'm going to be bouncing now shortly, guys. Let's just have a little run through chat, see who's here with me. Thanks, Ma. It is a beautiful day, isn't it, Ely, isn't it? Gorgeous. You smell that cow shit coming down from the field? Oh, it's lovely. Yeah. One love, Tom. Gav, I'll probably pop over later. I hope you had a good birthday this week. Gav was 26 years young this week. And Flat Earth Dave and Rat Lab. And Joy, yeah, Tim Peake, yeah, he managed to take a photograph from the ISS of his little tiny village on the south coast of England called Chichester. He said, look, I managed to capture a photo with my P900. But he never said a P900. He just showed you a photo, and you're supposed to assume that he can take that from all that way up, which they can't because they're not up there. Nothing can survive in space. Nothing organic can survive in space. If it is space, whatever it is up there. Anyway, I'm going to be bouncing now, guys. Let's get ready for Globebusters. That gives us 45 minutes for put the kettle on and all run over to there. Okay. One love, you. One love, Alex. One love, John. Yeah, Maddie's in Wales. She's fucking a mile up the road. She could probably chuck a stone at my house here now, Flat Earth Dave. There's nothing weirder than the Flat Earthers. We all live sort of in our own communal pond together as a lovely, beautiful community, which I do love, by the way. But you all know that, don't you? So there's my effort at some solid research. Get it out there. I've been looking into medieval maps. The hypothesis, not even that, is it? It's not even an hypothesis, just postulating that north could be south, I don't know. And why are all the medieval maps outside of Jesuitical influence or I was going to say the Enlightenment, but the Reformation, pre-Reformation, pre-1500s show the maps to be upside down, or at least east being west and west being east. They knew the compass because the Vikings put pine cones in a bowl of water to make a compass. They realised magnetics existed. So they knew. So why would they project them that way? I don't know. It was a long time ago. But it's food for thought, guys, anyway. So that's my effort for today. My Mountain League of Flat Earth British presentation of some productive work, hopefully. And I'll get back to some more work this week. And I'll get back to you very soon. Hopefully any of what I said went in. And hopefully it was in I was going to say continuity errors, but obviously flowing and continuous, I meant. I'm not skipping from one thing to another like I usually do, because I'm fucking flit ant. All right, I'm gonna bounce, guys. The kettle on. I'll see you over in Globebusters in half an hour. Be good, and remember, I'm watching you lot. Okay, I love you guys. See you soon.